All right, we've got Hirsch Verdon. Hirsch, thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely, Seth. I'm so glad to be here and to be talking to you again and having this conversation.
Yeah, we're speaking for, not the first time, but for folks that are seeing you for the first time. Just give us the kind of quick background so that we understand who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hello, everybody. My name is Harshvardhan. I know it spells harsh. I'm not harsh at all. You'll see that in this conversation. Um, and I work for Google and I'm innovation program lead. But how I like to introduce myself is that I'm a design led innovator. And I have done this with multiple industries, most recently with a huge automotive company, and now in a technology industry.
Excellent. And with that, what would you say your key areas of focus are at the moment?
That's a great question. So I will take that question in twofold. Personally, I would say my key area of focus would be evangelizing what I do. I think the time is right for this type of work, the type of innovation that I focus on. So doing conferences, doing executive coaching, education, doing talks. So evangelize design-led innovation, evangelize desirability-led innovation, trying not to use any buzzwords here. um, and the area of focus in my at my work is similar to that, but we are doing that with customers of Google Cloud. We are trying to um, bring desirability led innovation to the table and do collaborative innovation with them.
The landscape, so not within, your organization, but the landscape in general, because there's plenty of innovation going on within your organization. But
Yeah,
when you see it, from your seat, what are some key advancements that you're seeing on the general landscape?
that's a great question, and no prizes for guessing. I'm going to be talking about technology here a little bit. um, let's look at what happened in the recent years, right? Um, no guesses again. It's the age of Bard and the likes of Bard like Chat GPT, generative AI, and this is for the first time in a long time. I shouldn't say first time. This is in a long time that we are applying such type of technology um, to products that consumers are facing, and that's where innovation takes key role because one thing that uh, Prapti and I we talk about when we talk about innovation is that innovation is not invention. That's how we open all our talks, right? So then what is innovation? Innovation is application of what already exists for betterment of what already exists, or to evolve what already exists. So these technologies, generative AI or large language models, have been in development for a lot of years now and has been utilized from a B2B perspective in corporate environments, in um, between businesses, in business products. This is the first time, again, I'm saying first time, apologies for that, but this is once in a long time that it is coming to in our hands. And what does that mean?
Hmm.
The application has to be in a way that it changes how we function inherently. Remember the time when calculators came into being, or even computers? People were thinking, oh, we are going to be out of jobs. Did we, though? We reskilled, we
Hmm.
innovated in how we worked. And that's what is going to happen, is happening right now, I would say.
Yeah, and so right now you mentioned generative AI, you mentioned the onset of computers way back when. For the time or a specific time in between, the 20 years from today backwards, it's the FEI 20th anniversary. And so I wonder, what are your thoughts on the key advancements that you've seen over just that 20-year period?
I would say customer centricity is the biggest thing that I'm seeing. And I wouldn't say it's an advancement because it won't be fair to say that it has never been there, but it has taken a central role. so many companies that I have worked with in all different industries where I have collaborated with. The first thing I hear, we want to be more customer centric. And I want to take the word customer out of the conversation. I want to say user centricity. And when I talk about user centricity, I want to connect it to my last answer. That is why we are applying AI to what we can do with it from a consumer lens. Today, you can use generative AI to make images. You can use it to write emails for you. You can use it to write papers and whatnot. Were we able to do that in a few years ago? Not so much. So that user centricity for definitely has taken a central seat in these 20 years. And um, then using innovation from those learnings from the user centricity conversation that we have, quite opposite to the secretive way that we used to do innovation in I hate to use the word silos, but they were there. We can't ignore them. I think that has also changed quite a bit. The jargony term would be open innovation. Innovation coming from all around, but I'm just trying to put it into really simple words.
Absolutely. And, it begs the question, those are the advancements, and obviously that's the kind of purview or the point of view that we most have these days. What's something that, maybe a couple things that over the past 20 years used to be a big deal, no longer in play from your perspective? Be interested to hear.
I'll tell you a story, a little story about this. When I was a kid, I was so I come from a design background, and I was really interested in mobile phones, and I thought that, oh, I could design better mobile phones than what these companies are doing. So I used to do that. And when I aged a little bit, when I grew up, I thought, no, I don't want to be designing these. I want to be making the decisions of what design to pay, what design should we go for, on what features should be there. And then I started doing my research, because at this point I was in high school. I started doing the research on how can I get there. So um, people would tell me, you need to be a scientist. You need to be in R&D of these big companies. And what image do you get when you think about R&D, research and development labs, where people are wearing white coats, they are scientists working for 24 hours all the time? That kind of image you get. I don't think that is relevant anymore. I'm not saying research and development is not relevant. I'm saying the way that it was done. And again, going back to what I said, it's not secretive anymore. It's more open. The way the processes that we use are much more open. There is learning that is happening across industries. And that is why folks like me, I work for an big automotive manufacturer. Before I work in the tech domain, I can take my learnings from one place to other, um, and apply those, um, without infringing the copyright material. Just want to say that. Don't want to get into trouble. But you know what I'm saying on a serious note. Um, Another thing connected to that is how we use the process. It's not the age of one size fitting all. The processes are not linear anymore. One of the processes in design-led innovation that we talk about is design thinking. And if you look at the design thinking model, if you Google it up, you will see there are a lot of interpretations of this model where they say you start with this, you end with this, and then you iterate. That's fair. But do we really always start at that particular area that we said, which is usually research? No. Sometimes we might already have a prototype. Sometimes we make to learn. Sometimes we might already have something on our hands which we want to improve. So we want to, so that that process is not linear anymore. So
Hmm.
those are the two things I would say.
Yeah, no,
R&D as it was done, and the process.
yeah,
As it
no,
was.
absolutely. I'm following right along. Do you have an innovation legend that you would name off the top of your head?
Um, let's think about for a second who is an innovation legend, at least from my perspective. Is that fair?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So when I think of innovation legend, I'll tie it back to my previous answer. When we think of innovation, innovation is reapplication or evolution of what already exists and applying it into for the betterment or in a different domain. An innovation legend in today's times is one, it is not a person. It can't be. We are way ahead of the cowboy culture that we used to have. It's firstly, it is an organization or a team that does exactly that for betterment of society, for betterment of humanity on a large scale, and be able to realize that, not only talk about that. So, with that definition in mind, um, I would say Tesla is an innovation legend of our times. Um, and if you just think about technology, it's not um, something that other people won't say. But think about why Tesla? Because electric cars have existed for a long time. They they commercialized that. They changed the landscape of automotive industry, how people are thinking about cars, how people are thinking about mobility, and they are doing that for similarly in the sustainability domain. Um, so that is definitely one of the innovation legends of our times. I would say I'll take name of my company as well, but I think I should refrain from doing that in this
No,
conversation.
but it's okay because everyone else says that one. You know, it's okay. We got you covered. No, but I take your point about Tesla. It's not only, kind of opening up a new space,
Yeah,
that now folks are playing in. It was also breaking down an old system
yeah,
of the fact that it must be this way.
yeah,
There's plenty to know in the history of electric cars, to see that there really did need to not only be an introduction, but also just a complete
yeah,
change.
yeah.
So you're coming into the FEI community. What's exciting to you about this group here?
I think it's two way. It's first of all, I get to evangelize, which I love about what I do and share what I do with the fantastic community that already exists and is coming together in Boston. Um, and the second is opportunity to learn from others. I think, as I said, a lot of different industries are doing innovation, and there is a cross learning opportunity that is there. I think I'm really, really excited about that. I think FEI is really bringing together the great minds from all the different type of companies and industries and organizations, and innovation being such a humongous domain. I think it's world is the oyster.
That's
Or is that
exactly it.
right? World
The
is the
world
oyster.
is our oyster. I think so. Yeah. Hirsch, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. Looking forward to connecting many, many more times.
Absolutely.